going on, guys? Welcome back to W.D.Y.D. CSP. What do you do as a central sterile processor? My name is Jesse Lopez, and guys, I wanted to go over some of our processes with biologicals. Now, I have two biologicals here. I have a Verify 24-hour read low temperature biological, and I have the Celebrity 20-minute biological for low temperature. Guys, I don't know how many of you guys read the IFUs on this thing, but when I first encountered the V Pros, that was one of the things I grabbed was the IFUs, because the challenge point to place your biologicals is different from the Sterad machines. The Sterads are in the back and the bottom shelf. For the V Pros, the challenge point, if you have two shelves, is actually the top shelf in the middle of the rack. I didn't know that, and that seemed kind of weird to me, that that's the most difficult, the most challenging spot in the sterilizer is the middle of the top rack. I kind of was like, okay. But it also states that if the top rack is not installed, not that it's installed and you don't have nothing on there, if the top rack is not installed, then the challenging spot is the, let me grab this IFU. I got it right here, guys. The challenge spot is actually on the bottom shelf near the door. All right, that's for the V Pro sterilizers. Didn't know if, I don't know if some of you guys know that. The other thing it says is that you should be inspecting your Ampule, your biological, before you actually put it into a peel pack or even try to process it. The top should be free spinning, and this is for the Verify, and that the top shouldn't be past that top arrow. You should be able to see that top arrow there. All right, it also tells you to look at the little medium Ampule in there, make sure that it's not cracked or damaged, and if so, do not process, do not handle it. You have to dispose of it properly, so forth and so forth. It also tells you that once you process this, that in order to activate it, you must wear gloves. Always wear gloves when handling this thing, all right? So that's another thing I see a lot of technicians not do, including myself. I'm going to be honest with that one. It tells you to always use the crusher when activating it. Now that I always do with these low temperature biologicals, because if you try to crush it with your hands, a lot of time that Ampule will not crack. So putting it in the crusher, it actually indents it. So that's what these little strips of plastic are around the vial. It actually puts pressure on the Ampule and cracks it, and it pushes the lid all the way down. If you try to do this by hand, you might not be able to crush that little Ampule, so it'll be difficult. Now, the other thing that people are not doing is they're not shaking this thing. It tells you to shake this thing back and forth for 10 seconds to mix the medium and the spores. A lot of people aren't doing that. They're just crushing it and taking it and putting it right into the incubator, and then they wind up getting a positive and being like, oh my God, there's a positive. It's a false positive, guys. You didn't mix the medium and the spores. That's with every single biological. These here, I've already activated this one. So this one here, when you turn the top clockwise, and hear the little foil pop, you got to give it a flick to get that medium down there, all right? If you do it and it's not down there, or it's just a little bit or a little bubble, you're going to get a positive in it. Even if there's a bubble in this thing, there shouldn't be no bubbles in there either. I know for the steam sterilizer ones, that is notorious that it doesn't go down all the way into the well, and there's a little gap or space or a bubble. You got to shake these things. This one says one flick. This one is a 10-second mix. And I know for the steam sterilizer ones by a certain company, you have to shake it for at least 5 seconds, okay, to get it to mix and get all the air pockets out of there. Enough with biologicals. I also wanted to touch bases on our filters, guys. So in prep and pack, we should be inspecting our filters, all right? First, you want to make sure that it's not processed. The other thing is that the only hole that should be in this filter is the one in the middle, guys, okay? So you see that there's a little circle mark on here, and I don't know if you guys can see that. I was trying to get the sunlight to go through it, but you probably can't see that, and you can't see with the naked eye. I got it in my hand right here, and because the circle's there, it's very easy to see, but you should be holding this up to the light to look for holes. This thing has a little tiny pinhole. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my little LED light on and see if I can show you guys that. See that? I see that little pinhole right there? That was missed because this was already processed, guys, because somebody didn't inspect their filter. Guys, as always, thank y'all for watching. I hope the information that I give you is being retained and teaching you things that either you didn't know, were unclear of. And as always, if you guys have questions, please drop them in the comments, DM me, whatever. You can also find me on Instagram. But as always, guys, stay true to yourselves, keep it 100, and peace.